In the gently rolling wooded plains of North Texas, one woman's lifetime passion for horses has taken her in new directions and deep into the incredibly challenging sport of carriage driving. Her journey of discovery has brought her to the magical Friesian horse, the black treasure of the Netherlands, and what may be the pinnacle and culmination of a lifetime career in horsemanship and horse breeds. Joni's first experience riding horses was as a youngster, and she has competed in Western events, English competitions, eventing, and now in her life has discovered the thrill of carriage driving and combined driving events.
I think my first experience with a horse was falling off at 2. Someone put me on a horse, but my dad bought me a little Welsh pony at an auction when I was about 6. So my friends and I all had ponies, riding backwards, forwards, racing, whatever. And so I was in 4-H and Texas Junior. I've ridden at the Fat Stock Show in Fort Worth and State Fair of Texas, mostly pole bending, barrel racing, that sort of thing. And then did that all through high school rodeo, and then I got into English riding when I had kids and learned eventing, and that was really fun. So, loved eventing for about 15 years and just retired my New Zealand Thoroughbred. So when I bought this farm, that's when I really found out about the Friesians and wanted a really special, interesting, beautiful horse to put at this farm. And I had the opportunity to just pick from any breed. I could go get any horse I wanted. And after a lot of research, I just really fell in love with the Friesians.
Joni's desire to drive a carriage started at a very early age, but may not have been to regulation, as she explains.
So when I was little, my friend and I had a surrey, his family had a surrey, and we tried to hitch one of my old mares to that surrey with no harness, and we were very unsuccessful. Never happened, but I think that stayed in the back of my mind all these years. And I don't know why, but I've just always had an attraction to, or the desire to want to drive.
What Joni discovered in the Friesian was a kind heart, exceptional versatility, and willing temperament, making it very suitable for driving, dressage, pleasure riding, well, just about any activity for every kind of person. This is a breed that truly develops a connection with their owners.
So when I bought the farm, I had that opportunity to go find some really special horses. And I visited a lady's farm who had 2 full brothers, babies. Of course, I've always wanted to drive horses. So I thought, what a beautiful place to drive here at this place. And not only will Friesians drive, but they're beautiful in dressage. They're beautiful riding horses under saddle. And their temperament is such that you can put anyone on a horse, on a Friesian, and they're quiet and gentle, and they've just struck me as a really elegant, beautiful horse. Great pasture ornaments for my front pasture there, so I love that. But they could do so many things versus one thing, and I like that versatility that came with the Friesian. And I like the beauty and the elegance they have and the history and their style. So, women love romance, and they're the most romantic horse I can think of. So I love that part in the Friesian. And they're, another really special thing about the Friesians is their connection with their owner. I've had a lot of different disciplines and horses and breeds, and those horses can see me from across the pasture, and they will full gallop right at you, stop 2 feet in front of your face, and then just want to kiss you all over and crawl in your pocket. And it blows my mind how friendly and loving they are. And they're big animals. I happen to own one of the tallest, I think. The highest they get, the tallest they get is 17 hands, and I have a 17-hand one. So they're really large but gentle creatures and just so beautiful.
In the driving world, there is both pleasure driving, which has its own elegance and social correctness, recreating driving of an era more than 100 years ago. Then there's combined driving, which covers an entirely different aspect, combining elegance, tradition, precision, and gritty competition, as Joni explains.
Combined driving, I read a description of it the other day, and it's elegance, tradition, and gritty competition is how they described it. And really that's what it is, the elegance of the dressage part of it, with the horses being all wrapped up in your hands and shiny and beautiful and trimmed and brushed and groomed. That's gorgeous. And you have the beautiful carriage behind you, and you have the clothes that represent the tradition of the times and the carriage that you're driving. So it's got an incredible tradition, and love the history and the carriages and all that. But then you have the cross-country phase, which is crazy fun. It is gritty, it gets wild, it gets hairy, and if you love competition and you love to just go fast and have the challenge of driving those horses through and over and in and around, and it's an amazing challenge for the driver, because unlike riding, when you get into a carriage, you lose all your aids to the horse, or most of them. So now your voice and your hands become your aids, and that is quite a challenge from getting off the horse and into a carriage. It's much more difficult, and people think it looks easy, but it is really not easy, but it's certainly challenging, and that's what I love about it, is the challenge. So you got all combinations of the beauty, the precision of the cone driving, and then you've got the crazy, wild, hair on fire cross-country phase, which is why I'm interested, basically.
Combined driving consists of 3 events to test the skills of both horse and driver. The first test is in driven dressage, where the horse and driver must execute precise movements through a prescribed driving pattern. The second phase is a cross-country marathon and timed event with several hazards along the course, with gates that must be driven in a prescribed order. The last event is a timed cones course, consisting of 20 gates or cones, with a ball on the top of the cone, where horses and carriage have a clearance of just centimeters, testing the precision and skill of the driver and the steadiness of the horses through the course. To hit a cone and knock a ball down incurs penalty points added to the overall score of the team. It's easy to see that Joni's passion for horses extends to many other animals as well, as her farm is a magical place for her sidekick Diesel, as well as birds, donkeys, llamas, and one very special pig named Porkchop. It's a well-known fact that Friesians can only go so far in warm weather climates, and the ability to go further with her horses led her also to the Morgan breed. Joni has also discovered what an exceptional driving horse the Morgan breed is as well, and has put together an exceptional four-in-hand team of Morgans. The Morgan horse is a historical breed and truly is America's first breed, whose foundation stallion figure goes back as far as 1789 in colonial America. The Morgan is amazingly well suited for the sport of carriage driving.
The Morgans, I am never been familiar with the Morgan breed, but my trainer has, and when we started driving with the Friesians, we learned that they are not endurance horses. They don't last very long. They look real pretty, but they get tired easily. So we decided to buy the Morgans, and the description of a Morgan is they can outwalk, outtrot, outrun, and outdrive any other breed out there, which is, their versatility is what they're known for, and they're amazing horses. They're United States bred. They're one of the first breeds that came to this, that are from this country. Justin Morgan had the first Morgan, and his horse became so famous just because of all those things. He could out-trot them, he could outwork in the field, he could ride all day, and the horses, the Morgan breed is exceptional in that they just go forever. Their willingness to work, and I tell you, their brain, to hook them all up, like get a four-in-hand and hook them to a carriage, they have to have a good brain. And so we bought 4 young horses, 3-year-olds, all related brothers, geldings, and we're making them into a four-in-hand, and we do crazy things with them at this young age, and they are able to handle it and have not just lost their mind, and it just shows you how wonderful the breed is. And they can last. They're like a little thoroughbred. They just go all day long, and don't mind the work. So I think with combined driving, it would be great to have a Morgan four-in-hand. There aren't very many out there. I think ours is maybe the only one as far as the present day is concerned, because everybody's gone to the Dutch warm blood. And I guess they're a little bigger, a little stronger, whatever. But it'll be fun to try it with the Morgans. And the Morgan Association is very excited about it. And they should do well. I hope they do well, and we'll give it a shot. With this four-in-hand and the pair of Friesians, I'm just starting to do the combined driving, and you know, you have dreams and wishes, and love the guys that are at the top of the game, and the arena driving looks very exciting to me. So that's not going on in this country so much, but it's starting to catch on. I'd really like to do some four-in-hand arena driving. And sure, World Games, you bet. Yeah, right. Only in my dreams probably, but it would be fun. And I don't know if I'll get that far, but I would sure like to try.
Falling in love with both breeds, Joni has discovered they both possess the special temperament, intelligence, and willingness to excel in the sport of carriage driving. And with her Friesians and Morgans, Joni has become an accomplished driver in singles, pairs, and four-in-hand teams. North Central Texas is fortunate to have an excellent driving resource in the area through Training Resources. Owned by trainers Gene and Sonia Brown, who've helped many carriage drivers reach their potential and their dreams with their horses. Joni has found a mentor in Gene and has become proficient enough as a carriage driver to now help others who are interested in the sport of driving and need some guidance as they navigate the world of carriage driving.
For people who are interested in maybe learning more about the Friesians or the Friesian breed, even learning to drive, it's not difficult if you're interested and love horses, and even just for pleasure driving around your neighborhood or down your lane. It's a wonderful thing, and it's a wonderful social network that you can have. And there are wonderful websites that you can go to. There's Friesian associations here in Texas. There's a local club that I'm involved in just right down the road here in the Denton area. So that's wonderful. I've got a great trainer, and he will train your horse for you and teach you how to drive like he taught me. But it's not difficult, and it's easy to do, and children love it. Husbands and wives can do it together. So that's really wonderful, but you do need a good trainer or buy a good trained horse. But other than that, I would love to introduce anyone to it, and I think once they get in the carriage and put those reins in their hands, you can't help but fall in love with it. So I would always love to help anyone who would be interested in that. And I know Gene Brown up in Sanger, Texas, is always ready to have new students and new horses at his barn. He has Gypsy Vanners and Morgans and Friesians at his barn. So we've got a good base here in this community north of Dallas that is fun for driving and can teach people all they want to learn about it.
For Joni, this has been a long-term progression with horses and disciplines that started as a youngster and continues today. And she is glad to share what she has learned with anyone with a passion for horses or desire to get involved with carriage driving. Joni is easy to recognize. She'll be the one driving magnificent carriage horses across the waving green grass pastures of Texas.